I was wondering, I know you're a huge fan of the Jumpieri, and I haven't practiced those as much as I should have since leaving NAC. Um,
Okay.
but what other technical studies or warm-ups or fundamentals do you recommend as a good pair for your scale studies?
So far as exercises are concerned, I personally don't like any others. Um, I never, some people like the Uber do. That could be, but that's, very involved. I mean, I've heard people who like that. Um, there are people who like the Kovar. And I've used the Kovar in my life. Um, and sort of for the way that I play and I think about music, it's a little too um, abstract or cerebral,
It's
which,
great like microsurgery.
yes, yes. What I find, and I think if you like that, that's fabulous. One thing that I find in music is that you work on the technical things, but um, for them to work in real life, it's really nice not to think about those technical things. Just think about music, and then the technical things will get done, you know, behind your sort of active brain, and you can just concentrate on the things which I think are more essential and important so far in the music making process. I tell students playing the bassoon should be like talking. It should be something that you do really well, but you don't really think about. So, um, and obviously that's an oversimplification, but that's where I would love people to get, is to the point where they don't have to think about all these things. They don't have to think about, one of the, once you start thinking about intonation too much, it gets worse. So once you start thinking about attacks too much, they get worse. So if you can just think of those things as sort of natural, in a natural way, um, uh, I think I think they become much better.
All of that makes a lot of sense. And just between you and me and the rest of the internet, your book is my favorite scale book too. I've dipped my toes into others, and I always go back. I I should have had it ready to show you, but my original book fell apart a long time ago, and so I've got it now hole punched and in a binder, and I've got like
Nice.
5 layers of like hole reinforcements on it. It's been very well loved.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
And my students, all my students work with it as well too, and so they go over the arc of like, oh, I hate this, I hate this, I hate oh, I really like this makes me a better player. They
Right.
always wind up in the right place.
Good. Well, the one thing especially I wanted to do with my scales is have them be enjoyable, because so they are, as much as scales can be, I mean, they are musical. You can play them like they're I mean, it would be kind of like playing Donzi, I suppose, if it were an actual real piece. He would be the only composer who would write a solo like my scale book. But anyway, you can play it. It's just, it is written in a more musical way than most scale books.
No, I would agree. I was fortunate enough to be at NEC when your scale book was printed or released, and I remember playing it for you for the first time, and you kept on encouraging me. No, you don't. You don't have to sound like a robot. You could add some musicality to this in a very nice way, but it's really stuck with me all these years, and I find myself playing robotically, and then I kind of lean into it, and I find some ways to finesse things a little bit.
One more rung up the ladder, kind of building the basis for the finished product.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sitting down
Thank
with us.
you.
Yeah, it's great to see you both. Wonderful to meet you, Kayla. Great to see you again, Laura.
Thank you.
Wonderful to meet you.
Yes.
Well, have a wonderful evening, and maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Sounds great.
All right.
Good. Great
Take
to see you
care.
guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.